Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Johanna, and I have an update for you on the fragrance Chantilly. So I went to order a newer bottle, like one from Dana, because Dana's notes have additional notes like leather, and I wanted to know what this fragrance would smell like with some better base on there. And so I went on eBay and I ordered one that said it was from Dana, a 3-ounce bottle, 100 milliliter bottle for $20, including shipping. So it came today and it had a sprayer. I was excited about that. So here it is. So let me see if I can get you to see this. It says Houbigant on the glass. This is by Houbigant, not by Dana. I went on eBay to get a newer bottle than this one that I reviewed for you. I went to get a newer bottle and I ended up with an older bottle by just chance. And you know that on that My Fragrance Net haul, I don't know if you've seen that one, but I mentioned at the beginning of that video, I was talking about Lady Stetson and Exclamation and how I had gotten, at least of the Exclamation, I think I got a really old bottle, even though I ordered it from Fragrance Net. So you never know when these places, even like Fragrance Net, you would think they would only have modern formulations, but they're getting stuff all the time and they're not, I don't know. I just can't figure out what happened with that one, with that bottle of Exclamation, because inside the box, it was dusty. And it's got to be sitting around for a long time to get dusty inside the box. Yeah, why wasn't it shrink wrapped? It wasn't shrink wrapped. Those two, the Lady Stetson and the Exclamation, were not shrink wrapped when they came from Fragrance Net. So I've heard this happen before, people, but I didn't know that they wouldn't shrink wrap it. Yeah, so you might get some vintage bottles without realizing it. And like on eBay, of course, I don't expect, them to necessarily know what they're selling. But on Fragrance Net, I do, because that's their business. So something odd that I noticed that this first bottle had, which was that it was shrink wrapped in this big box. I remember that it was shrink wrapped in that box and it had this dent in the front. Okay, so it was shrink wrapped, but still it got a dent. I'm just like wondering, how did this dent happen on this Perfumes Parquet bottle from the 90s? But then this new one has it too, the same place. It's dented on the top. Maybe this is a normal thing. Maybe this happens all the time. I don't know, but I've never had any dented lids on new bottles of perfume I bought. And I don't think I bought it from the same seller. But yeah, I guess that's like, if it smashes down, it's going to smash down in the front. Or maybe I just have it turned to the front. But they look exact, like these dents are, I figure if you find this stuff too boring, you would just click off. But I find these details really interesting because stories, there's a story here. And I don't know what it is. But these two bottles, and I did get both of these on eBay. So I should probably check and see about whether or not it was the same seller. Can't wait to tell you what I think of this one though. I meant to say the one that's new to me, but the Houbigant one. So I checked on eBay and my purchase history, and I paid $54 for this bottle. I didn't realize I paid that much for this. This is this 8-ounce bottle of Chantilly by Parfums Bouquet. And then I paid $20 for this one by Houbigant, which wasn't listed as Houbigant. And then the little 1 ounce bottle of perfume that's by Parfums Bouquet as well. That one I don't have right here, but that one was $44 that I paid. I didn't realize I paid so much for these fragrances. These specific ones, I kind of think of them as really cheap fragrances. But yeah, that's how much I paid for them on eBay. These are not purchased from the same seller, and they don't appear to be the same person that's selling these, that sold these to. So there's something that happened in the factory for some years that does this to the lids in the specifically Chantilly bottles. Maybe because it's a tall bottle, right? These are all tall and skinny. But what was putting pressure on these to see? I love the stories behind things. I like to figure things out. I would like to be a detective. But so yes, this one is different. This is different. So it's kind of like maybe what Dana did. This one smells like what they describe Dana as smelling like, the Dana version of Chantilly. This smells leathery. But why would they put leather? Why would Houbigant, remember the person that, there was an article that I was reading and someone was commenting that they would not have put leather as a note in something that was meant to be like a white French lace. But, you know, Dana's doing it. And maybe Houbigant did it. Yeah, it smells like that to me. Let me see if I can find a place to spray. This is divine. This is divine. One of my viewers commented on my second Chantilly video. Now this is my third Chantilly video. And my viewer commented that someone that they knew was like, had worn it, and it kind of represented that person to them. And they loved the fragrance. And I was thinking, wow, they love the fragrance. Maybe I should love the fragrance or find a way to love the fragrance. And I did want to find a way to love this fragrance. And that's why I ordered it again. I guess I didn't give up on this fragrance. I ordered it again, or my perfume addiction didn't give up on this fragrance. So I'm learning a lot about this fragrance by getting the different versions of it. In fact, it helps me learn about making perfume myself. Like when I got the pineapple fragrance with the Lang Lang, the pineapple, the cheap fragrance that I bought on my fragrance net haul recently. And when I ordered it, I wanted to see what they did with pineapple. I wanted to see how they do pineapple. I have been trying to work with pineapple materials, and I've been wanting to make sure that I'm doing a good job. And I wanted to compare it to something that's being sold professionally, something that I can afford, because I can't afford a lot of the good pineapple fragrances that are out there, especially niche. Right now, I do not have a niche budget. So I've been exploring more like affordable fragrances, because there are good affordable fragrances, and I want to know more about them. After all, those are my roots. Like my original first perfumes that I bought for myself as a teenager, starting in middle school, were Exclamation by Coty and Lady Stetson by Stetson. And then I got a gift from my friend, my best friend. She gave me her bottle of, maybe 3/4 still full of Charlie, regular Charlie. And yeah, I think it was a red. Maybe it was the red. I feel like there might have been red somewhere on that bottle. Like maybe the writing was in red. That I was trying to figure out what version, because the version that I received when I reordered it recently from eBay, that one's not the same version that my friend gave me, because the one that she gave me, I believe, had red on it, now that I'm thinking about it. Let me smell this. Oh my gosh, this is just unbelievable. I'm what they call shook. I'm shook right now because, I mean, this is divine. This is actually divine. Like, this is worth, okay, so back in, let's say, maybe 1980 something, this seems like, because I think that it was until 1989 that Houbigant had Chantilly. So this is like a minimum of 1989, maybe longer ago. The label is really faint. It just doesn't, it's not easy to read. It's almost like maybe the company was going out of business. But the glass says Houbigant on the bottom, because not everyone can afford to get their perfume bottles printed with the actual glass that says your perfume brand. You know, that's like nice stuff. So this is a sprayer. I am so curious about this lid damage. I think I may be looking way too far into this. Like usual, that's just what I do because it occupies my mind. My mind is occupied by that kind of conjecture. Wow. Let me see what the other bottle says on the bottom. The other bottle is flat and it just says, it's just a sticker. So this is divine. I'm just distracting myself from it. Does Chantilly have sambac jasmine in it? Because I am lately, when I smell jasmine sambac, I think I'm smelling something completely different. And it's just like, I've noticed it before in fragrance. Now, 2 fragrances that I've noticed it in. The jasmine sambac is so indolic and animalic smelling that I swear it's like I was raised on a farm and I lived on a farm and on a dairy farm in high school, and like that smell that you, when you go into the dairy barn, even though it's supposed to be kept very, very clean, it still has a smell of the animals. And the I always thought it was the smell of their feces, but I don't know what it is. It's just that if you walk through the barn, all your clothes will forever be in pee. Well, until you wash them, will be with that smell. So you couldn't like go there to the barn and then go to school because you would smell like a farmer. And just because I was a farmer didn't mean I had to smell like one. But the jasmine sambac smells like that. So it smells like jasmine sambac. The dairy farm. So regarding jasmine sambac, I just looked up the notes for Houbigant's Chantilly on Fragrantica, and they have orange blossom, which also can be animalic, and they have jasmine. They don't say jasmine sambac, but they're not being specific. So I was right. Lately, I'm picking up on jasmine sambac, and for some reason, it reminds me of a dairy farm. And from real life, you know, it's not just my own imagination with that. So then I have to show off because this is one of those presentation boxes. This is a first edition version bottle of Alkahat by Xerjoff. Can't remember the year this was released. The reason I got this, I didn't originally get the first release, but I got this because I wanted to make it special. So I got the first release and I wanted to get the most pure one. I know that a lot of people at the time, especially, were saying like, if if something is going, like if something is going to happen with a fragrance, it's going to get less good instead of more good. Usually that's the urban legend. So I got this so I could tell exactly how it should be, because when I smelled this Alcat by Zerjoff, I swore to God that they had captured the dairy farm in this bottle, and I was like, why the heck would they be doing that? But it brought back memories. And that dairy farm, well, both of the farms that I grew up on are no longer there. Like, people aren't farming the land as much as they used to be. So, I got this because those farms are gone. Those relatives have passed on. They haven't passed it on to their kids. As far as farming goes, they're not farming. So for my son, I wanted to give him some way of experiencing my life on the dairy farm. Because I thought that was just too ironic that it's like I'm a collector, this is what I'm collecting. So this has that smell, that jasmine sambac. Oh wow, this is like even more so though, because this apparently has oud in it. I don't know if it's real. I wouldn't know if it was real. I probably never smelled real oud in my life. And I'm probably going to be okay if I die without ever smelling real oud, but I'm not going to turn down an option for that for sure. So yeah, I'm starting to get sensitive to jasmine sambac. My jasmine sambac that I have here never bothered me, but let me check it now. I got a sample that I even mixed up just a small amount because it's expensive. So I got a sample just to see from Eden Botanicals. Wow, it doesn't smell the same. This one smells fresher, but right now it's smelling fresher. I remember before it had like I don't know if it was a costus smell or an indolic smell, but yeah, before I noticed that it had that, and now I'm not noticing this at all. I do have a cold. It's not the same type of jasmine sambac that's in these fragrances. It also has lemon, bergamot, neroli, fruity notes, spices, carnation, orange blossom, lang lang, rose, jasmine. And then in the base, sandalwood, benzoin, vanilla, oak moss, tonka bean, and musk. Gosh, this is divine. I'm telling you, like, I bet the Dana version, the new version, I bet they went back to Houbigant's recipe, because I think Parfums Parquet was just like, that's not right. It doesn't smell as good as it should. Now this is a legendary fragrance. Yeah. I feel, okay, so now this seems like maybe what Russian Adam was talking about, because that's the whole reason I originally got the Parfums Parquet version, is because he was talking about it, but he had a bottle that had gold shoulders, like they had metal on the shoulders. It was probably because it was marketed somewhere outside the United States, because Fresh and Adam is outside the United States. But that was gorgeous. But he probably had a Houbigant bottle, and he was referring to it and describing it, and he was describing exactly what I see here in this Houbigant bottle. Wow. Sometimes you just get lucky. I got lucky with this one. Yeah, that was like a gift from the seller. In fact, I'm going to give them a good compliment on their feedback.